If I don't continue this, I'm probably not going to hear the end of it from Physicist. I'm trying to remember if it was actually part 6 of my stream or like the part before where Yuji got into that fight against 3 men in the alleyway. Oh, and then there was the kickball, volleyball, baseball, whatever extreme sports game. They also was there also frisbee involved? I don't remember. Oh, and then there was that sports game. And this is just after both Amane and Michiru passed out from it. And I don't even think any of the other students at the school played. This isn't something you need to apologize for. I thought about that response, but ultimately decided against it. The wounded tend to grow timid toward those around them. Better to avoid warding that might make her think of herself as baggage burdening others. Don't want to increase her anxiety. I keep up with full communication, standard procedure to ensure the wounded doesn't faint out of pain. Where's the infirmary? Amane, do you know? Turn right up ahead. If you keep going until the dead end, the infirmary will be on the left. I still can't get over this derpy Amane face right here. That's one of the derpiest smiles I've seen in a while. We'll be there soon. Try to endure it for the moment. This is a little much. It's just a sprain, you know? Don't make light of leg injuries. Soldiers get abandoned when they can't walk. But that's very different from just, like, school students. Soldiers, he says. Well, I guess you're right. The injured ones die first. Don't worry. Japan won't desert you, and I won't leave you to die either. Sorry, I'm heavy, right? Not particularly. 5 bags of rice or so, at most. Wait a second. Why do you know my weight? I'm used to carrying around heavy luggage on my back. I can estimate weight from the feeling on my shoulders. Look, you were carrying me and all, so maybe I shouldn't be complaining, but... Ordinarily in this situation, you'd say you're not heavy at all, okay? Like, you know, when you're dealing with a girl. Maybe show a little consideration every once in a while? You're lighter than I expected. Probably only looked heavy from your height and that oversized chest. You got long legs, too. That must have thrown me off. I guess it's nice to be complimented on my legs, but that's kind of double-edged. I mean, just how much were you expecting me to weigh? My impression was that you'd be comfortably above 60 kilos. That's exactly what you do not say. As she speaks, Amane sharply tightens her arms into a chokehold around my neck. Look, stop thrashing around. You'll be the one crying if I drop you. I'll come to a brief halt on the spot and lift Amane's body, which had been sliding down my back, up more firmly around my shoulders. Come to think of it, Yuji-kun, your hands are full, aren't they? What are you planning, woman? In the next moment, Amane gently closes her eyes, still clinging tightly to my neck. She brings her lips close. Hey! I take an immediate evasive action in response to her suspicious movements, but Amane's lips nonetheless press against my cheek. You dodged? What the hell is wrong with this woman? I've got half a mind to drop her on the hallway floor, but we are dealing with an injured party here. I turn my head to the side to stare into Amane's face. And so do I, finding her blushing in apparent embarrassment. I thought I met her for the first time at this school. But maybe. Keys, what are you staring at me like that for? It's nothing. No matter how long or how carefully I study Amane's features, nothing comes to mind. I was entertaining the possibility she might have been some childhood friend I parted from in tears or what have you, but I'm pretty well convinced that isn't the case. Which would leave. Do I look like the lover you were tragically separated from in your previous incarnation? Is that it? What the heck is that? Do I look like that much of a head case? You know, you really shouldn't make jokes like that in this school. It's a little too close to home for some people. What are you, anyway? Suo Amane. Yes, my short-term memory is perfectly fine, thanks. Every time Amane speaks, her soft breath struck my ear. Is it just my imagination, or has her body temperature slowly been rising while I've had her on my back? If she suffered a partial fracture on that ankle, it might be her body's beginning to generate a fever. Better get a move on. Again, lifting Amane further up on my back, I hurried to the infirmary. Doc, emergency case, gonna move on. Doc, he says. Still carrying Amane, I push my way forcibly into the room and shout for attention, but there's no one here whatsoever. Much less a doctor. Why isn't anyone here? Everyone take a break at once? We don't have a health teacher here. Just let me down on the bed. I guess I'll take care of the rest. There's no doctor? You mean they haven't hired anyone at all to staff this room? Yep, that's right. Wow. They've been talking about getting a health teacher for a while now, but apparently it's pretty hard to find a good one. I guess they've at least got a supplier coming in to replace the medicine, though. Well, fine, I'll take care of the treatment. You can do that? I learned first aid in my previous school. I can handle something like this, at least. Alright, so how bad is that ankle? I'm going to move it. Tell me if it hurts. Okay. Her ankle's slender, but compared to her uninjured left foot, it's clearly inflamed pretty badly. I bend Amane's ankle to various angles, carefully searching for the location of her injury. It's not fractured after all, but I think the ligament might have been stretched or the joint capsule ruptured. Taking a roll of medical tape from the infirmary's first aid kit, I loosely wrap it around Amane's ankle, restricting the range the joint can move. Then retrieve ice from the freezer, stuff it into a bag, and press it over the injury. Thank you. Feels a lot less painful now. You seem pretty experienced at this. Well, just a bit. I'm accustomed to treating sprains and burns, at least. When I was a kid, I was getting hit pretty much every day, and I still get my fair share of injuries even now. You really are a nice guy, Yuji-kun. Spare me, how exactly am I a nice guy? I just treated an injury. Anybody would do that much. And now you take this deliberately cold attitude. Probably because you don't want to hassle me if mistaking you for a kind person and taking advantage of you? To be honest, Amane's words are pretty close to the bullseye. When human beings find kindness, they naturally take advantage of it. Before they realize that they grow dependent on that kindness, they lose their ability to function without it. If I disappeared, what would you do with yourself? My master spoke those words to me when I was still a child. To be honest, I was prepared for you to just drop me off here with an "alright then, I'll be going." And then you just started treating me without a word, you know? I was pretty surprised. Alright then, I'll be going. As I raise my right hand in farewell, Amane grabs my clothes firmly to prevent my retreat. Excuse me. Are you planning to leave a nervous, injured girl all by herself? Stick around a while. Am I the only one who thinks she should be slightly more nervous about being alone with a teenage male in this room? Which has a bed? When her leg is injured to the point that she can't walk? What do you want from me? If you have something to say, then spit it out already. Then I'll get straight to the point. Be my boyfriend. What? You couldn't hear it the first time? Want me to say it again? Why are you saying this? Because I love you. Since when? Since the instant we met. Love at first sight, as they say. Kind of a cold response. You don't believe me, do you? Then let me ask. What part of me did you fall in love with? Let's see. The way you seem sort of hopeless, I guess? If I'm not around, how is this guy gonna keep himself alive? And all that. I'm kind of a sucker for that kind of man, it seems. I see. Can't say I have a problem with reliable women myself. Ah, really? That's pretty convenient, huh? What do you think? Shall we start dating? What does this girl think she's grinning about? Momentarily speechless with bemusement, I hold my right palm to my forehead and run it up through my hair. Look, is teasing me that much fun? It's a little upsetting to hear you put it that way, but alright. Fine. If you don't want to become my boyfriend, I'll become your big sister. What? Well, think you could use a beautiful, sweet big sis? I regret to inform you that we're not hiring big sisters at the present time. Oh, so when will you be hiring? We anticipate no vacancies until doomsday. Jeez, give me a break here. Just wait until the end of the world. Shifting my grip on the ice pack, I give Amane a slap on the ankle. That hurts! Jeez! Do you enjoy bullying girls? Let's see, if you make it a yes-no question, then yes. I think I'd be safely on the enjoys bullying girls side. A sadist, eh? But don't worry. I know this may come as a bit of a surprise, but I happen to be a natural-born masochist. Just what do you want from me, exactly? Hey, is it that firm a no? No matter what? I'm kind of losing my confidence as a woman here. I'm not trying to reject you, but I don't think you're rushing things here? I hear when someone says it's too premature for that. They'll be saying the exact same thing 10 years down the line. We're not talking about politics here. Look, I'm telling you I'll give up on being your girlfriend and you be big sis instead, okay? Starting off by asking for the sky, then dragging out concessions as a compromise in the negotiations? You really do think you're a politician. Thick-skinned as I am. I'm going to get hurt pretty soon, okay? I drop my shoulders in an exaggerated gesture and heave a heavy sigh. I'm sure this girl intends to continue this aggressive pursuit until I tell her what she wants to hear. It would be a serious pain in the ass if she tried to push me any harder than this. As a point of compromise, this is probably right at the limit of my tolerance. Yeah, I got it. If you want to play the big sister that badly, I'll go along with it. If there was a mirror in front of me as I speak these words, I'd be staring into the face of a man with the word reluctance stamped on his forehead. Might this have been a hasty decision? Indifferent to my shame and regret, Amane beams happily and drops her hand on top of my head with a gentle thump in grand big sister style. Very well then. I'll accept that. For now, and I'm Oni-chan to you, got it? Don't think this means you can pet my head whenever you feel like it. Although I don't go so far as to push Amane's hand away, I can't say this is an especially pleasant feeling. Dutiful and clever dogs, as a rule, don't wag their tails when someone other than their master pets their head. I see. I prefer eating my meals alone. It's just easier that way. For one thing, I don't have to go through the hassle of pretending to enjoy what I'm eating. In the first place, there's no cafeteria or lunch counter in this school. The facilities exist after all, but you can count the number of students and permanent staff here with the fingers on your hands. Spending the money to run a lunchroom for the benefit of that small number of people would be completely inefficient any way you look at it. So then, you might ask, how does lunch work at this place? It's a pretty simple system. When we arrive at the classroom in the morning, we can write our names in a notebook on the podium. Every lunch period, a supplier delivers food to everyone who's signed up. Box lunch catering, as they call it. Of course, it's completely up to every individual student whether they take advantage of the catering. Because the menu is basically left up to the supplier, it's possible to sign up only when they're offering something you want. Personally, I haven't asked for delivery even once. It's not that I'm worried about saving money or that I can't trust food made by others. I don't have any religious principles against eating meat either. I'm just not interested enough in what I eat to bother. They say it's a common result of being raised in the food-poor environment, and considering the time I spent living together with my master and her crappy cooking, I guess it's only natural. A full stomach and adequate nutrition is really all I need. Incidentally, the lunch I prepared for myself today is 3 plain salt rice balls. My side dish was also a quick job. After frying onions and garlic, I threw them together to cook with some canned tomatoes and kidney beans, adding a packet of chili powder for seasoning. As my master used to say, humans ain't that fragile. You won't starve as long as you got beans to eat, but I guess going with nothing but the basics is a bit too bleak for me. No point in living like a monk, so I've also brought an apple for dessert. Kinda feels like I'm eating nothing but red stuff, but there's no point worrying about a meal's appearance. This is perfectly adequate for my needs. Hey there, Yuji! So now she's dropped the honorific? What? Don't just call me Yuji, woman. Well, I'm your big sister now, right? Using an honorific for my little brother would just be weird. I don't remember giving you permission to not use one. I don't remember you forbidding it either. Okay, it's now forbidden. My goodness, what a tyrant. In that case, I have a condition of my own. What do you want? If you call me Oni-chan, I'll stop calling you Yuji. What you think, Yu-chan? Spare me. Not even my parents ever called me that. Come on now. Why not give it a try? Say Oni-chan for me. Ridiculous. What kind of an attitude is that? In that case, it's Yuji for you, got it? Do whatever you want. I intend to, Yuji. And, you need something? Nah, it's just that I spotted you starting that tragic lunch all by yourself. Come on, let's eat together. No, I'll pass. Take your volunteer work to Makina, why don't you? Of course, Makina's going to be with us too. Makina! Oh, you call? Yes, I did. But can you please try to speak properly? Can I also try to speak properly? Oh, Nichan's got a box lunch too? What you eating? In one ear and out the other. Rice balls and an apple and... What's this red stuff? Baked beans. Those look kinda tasty. Wanna try some? Yeah.